Hello, all. Welcome to part two of the lecture on the discussion on security philosophy for the program CPSO, that's Certified Professional Security Operative, that's being conducted by Topford International Security. So, in part two, we I'm going to be sharing, as I said, I'm going to be sharing my security philosophy that I designed for myself. Okay. Okay. So my security philosophy is 5 words. That's it. It's not a sentence. It's no phrase. It's not a thesis. It's just 5 simple words. Okay. The first one is predict. Now, please understand this. Those who cannot predict their adversary will always become a victim. As security professionals, the first thing we need to do to build a security architecture to protect us, to protect the assets that we are working so hard to protect, the first thing we need is we need to be able to predict the adversary. What is it that the adversary is going to do? Okay, first of all, let's start with the the 5 W's. Who is this adversary? Who is this prospective adversary who's going to attack us or who's going to cause us damage? Okay. Second, why does he want to do that? Okay, now we have to be able to predict and get as close to that person's, that adversary's why as we possibly can, because when we get close to his why, we really understand what's driving them. And once you understand what's driving your adversary, it becomes so easy to, to mitigate them. Okay. And we'll understand the other 4 words, which are connected with, why it's important to do this. Third one, what is our adversary going to do to impact us, to hurt us, or to, rob us, or whatever that could be that he wants to do. Okay. Where is he going to hit us? Is he going to, let's say, if we're talking about close protection, so if we are talking about a convoy, is he going to hit us when the VIP is getting into the vehicle, which is in most cases? Or is he going to attack us, ambush us in a certain part of the route, which is dark, which is a jungle, or which is no man's land, or things like that? So where is that threat going to hit us? Okay. And last but not the least, when is it going to happen? If you are able to predict these 5 things, now I'm not saying that you'll be able to predict 100% accurately, but the more closer that you think you can get to getting these 5 right, the better you are able to predict your adversary. Okay. Once you are able to predict your adversary, the second comes you prepare. And always remember this: the unprepared mind will always become a victim. Guys, security is like a game of chess. It's 80% mind and only 20% the physical aspect. 80% it's your planning, it's your philosophy, it's your security architecture, how you design processes, procedures, your access control, security policies. Okay, how strong you train your teams. 80% is all that you're planning. 20% is moving that piece from one square to the next. Okay, so always remember, security is 80% mind, 20% body. But when you train, it's the other way around. You train 80% on the field and 20% in theory. You can't train for security sitting in a classroom. Okay, so that is why you prepare. What do you prepare for? You prepare for the guy, because now you know who that could be. who your adversary could be. You predicted them well in the first step. You prepare for why they are doing what they're doing, what is driving them, and you start eliminating their driving forces around you. Okay. The third one, you start preparing for what they are going to do. If somebody is going to ambush you, you have two extra vehicles with armed personnel. Okay. So that's how you prepare for what they are going to do. Or you have, let's say, a road opening party. Okay, which basically means you have an advance party which goes and sanitizes the entire route. Okay, so things like that. So you know what is coming your way, so you prepare for that. Okay, you prepare for where they are going to hit you. You know your vulnerabilities, so you're able to prepare for that well. Okay, and you prepare for when they are going to strike you. Okay, so the first step is very, very critical. Predict who, why, what, where, when. Then comes the next important step, which is prepare. You predicted, now you prepare. Okay. The third one is protect. Now that you predicted accurately, or you predicted well, let's not use the word accurate because we can't predict anyone accurate. We can get close and we lucky, then maybe yes, accurate as well. Okay, so we predicted well, we prepared well, and because we did these two steps very, very accurately, we did well. That is why we are able to protect ourselves well. Okay, now I'll give you another example. Let's say you're walking back home, okay, from work or wherever, and you see a bunch of rogues, the nasty guys around the bus stop in front of you. Now, by looking at these guys, what they're wearing, and possibly their build, that they're very heavily built and all that, that these guys could cause you trouble. You predicted. Okay, and now because you predicted that these guys could cause you problem if you go there, you prepare yourself to walk an extra mile to the next bus stop, okay, to catch the bus there, hoping that these guys are not going to take the bus which you are going to take on the next stop. But guess what happens? When you reach the next bus stop and you climb the bus, you realize that these rogues are also on the bus. Correct? So that's where your plan B comes in place. Now, at this point, your preparation should not just be to deter crime. The first thing what you did, you walked an extra mile. You tried to deter an engagement with the bad guys. But guess what? I think trouble is calling you. Okay, or trouble is following you, but trouble comes in your bus. So now it's not just about securing yourself. You need to prepare to defend yourself. If they assault you, what next? Are you prepared? Okay, are you prepared to protect yourself? Now, most of the times, deterrence is a great way to stay secure and safe. But sometimes, when the adversary is determined, the why of the adversary is very strong. It's not possible to you can't deter these kind of guys. For example, we talk about terrorism. You cannot deter terrorists, especially the ones driven by radical ideologies. We have the Taliban, we have Boko Haram, we have ISIS, and all these kind of guys. You can't deter these people. In fact, the only way to possibly get close to deterrence to these guys is another philosophy that I've not mentioned here, but I'll share with you, is to become a significant threat to your threat. When you become a significant threat to your threat, you're getting your threat to think twice before engaging with you. Okay, so that's another philosophy of how you engage when deterrence doesn't work. Okay, now predict, prepare, protect. Next comes prevent. Because you predicted well, because you prepared well, and you are willing to protect yourself, you are able to prevent crime, or you are able to prevent becoming a victim to crime. Okay, as I said, in protect, deterrence didn't work, you still got attacked. But guess what? Because your preparation was strong and your protection, you're willing to do whatever it takes to protect yourself. So the end result is you were able to prevent yourself from becoming a victim. And last but not the least is preserve. Now, preserve is all about discipline. And this is where I see 99% of security forces or teams failing, because they are able to predict well, they're able to prepare well, they are able to protect well, they are able to prevent, but they are not able to sustain that security culture, that security status, that sanctity. They're not able to sustain that. Why? Because they don't have discipline. And that discipline comes from a security culture. So this is part two. What is part two? What is my security philosophy? Predict, prepare, protect, prevent, preserve. The last 2 3 days, you guys have been learning some fantastic security education from speakers who've been there. I've been reading the PDFs that are being shared in the group. Some fantastic knowledge. But if this is not set, your operating system is not robust, all that massive, awesome, great education will not be able to stand. What you learned in the last 2 3 days are fantastic applications. Now, what I share with you today is the operating system. Now, this is important. Okay, you can't install fantastic, applications on a weak operating system. It won't work. You can't blame the application. Correct? So this is end of part two. Pause the video here or go back, redo, watch the video again, understand, jot down your questions, and share your questions in the group. And then we go to part three. Okay, see you in part three.